Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a new movie from Universal and Blumhouse that is hitting theaters this weekend. Emma Tamney returns to be the director for this film, and Scott Cawthon, who created the games, developed the games, is also the sole screenwriter once again for this sequel. Again, this movie is the sequel to the 2023 film and based off of the very famous video game series. Back from the original film in the leading roles is Mike, played by Josh Hutcherson, and Abby, played by Piper Rubio. They are again siblings, and they are trying to get over the fact of what happened at the end of the first film. Mike trying to get their lives back on track, while Abby misses her friends back at Freddy's. Also, Vanessa, played by Elizabeth Lale, returns in this movie. She's also trying to get over the fact what happened at the end of the first movie with her father, who once again in this movie is played by Matthew Lillard, as she's trying to realize if bad things are happening to her or she can move on like Mike. But out of nowhere, a group of people try to go back to Freddy's, and by accident, things go wrong. And now these animatronics want to join, not just take away kids, but go into the real world. So new cast members for this movie. Wayne Knight plays Mr. Berg, a science teacher at the school that Abby is going to. McKenna Grace is in the movie as Lisa, someone who's trying to investigate some supernatural things going on at the Freddy's Pizzeria. And Skeet Ulrich is in the movie as a parent of a child who did die at this pizzeria. The film is an hour and 44 minutes and is PG-13. My name is Max Emmerich. Welcome back, everyone, to Max Talks Movies. So if you're new guys to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications, guys. I'm trying to get to 400 subscribers to start 2026, so please, it would mean the world to me to subscribe. I talk movies, TV shows, all things entertainment, including awards season and box office. I love entertainment, so please subscribe and join me on this journey. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's 2? First of all, have you played the games? Are these two movies your introduction into the franchise? What did you like? What did you not like? Do you want to see more films in the franchise, or should they stop with this movie? And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So, I did review the first film 2 years ago here on the channel. Leave a link for that at the end of this review. But even though I'm a big video game player, especially horror video games, I never played Five Nights at Freddy's. It was kind of a little bit past, even though it came out when I was 12, I really wasn't playing those type of games yet. And so I am not someone who has any nostalgia or knows the lore or anything like that. But when I saw the 2023 film in theaters, it felt like I was watching a Marvel movie because people were clapping and cheering and oohing and eyeing a lot of the time in the movie. But I did not like the first Five Nights at Freddy's from my perspective. Didn't think it was a very good horror movie. And I honestly at times feel either the same way or worse with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't think this is a very good movie. I think I've seen a lot of clips from people playing the games and just clips from the game itself. Haven't sat down and actually physically played it or watched cutscenes or things of that nature. But I think the missing piece is just the horror side of this franchise, which is when I've seen clips, there are some really effective jump scares when people are playing Five Nights at Freddy's. But when I watch these two movies, I just don't feel scared whatsoever with what's going on. There are so many obvious jump scares in this movie. Now, what I'll say is the animatronics I'm a big fan of, and honestly, it saves these movies from being some of my least favorite movies of the year. And I am a sucker for practical effects. And obviously, I grew up on Star Wars, but many other franchises back in the day really relied on practical effects. I'm a big fan of practical effects, or even like stop motion animation, for example. So I respect the look and the practical effects of the animatronics. It looks cool. It makes the franchise feel unique. They're definitely intimidating. I wouldn't call them like scary threats, but I respect how much this franchise has really, they could have easily, especially with the sequel, gone full on CGI with a lot of these elements. I really respect how much that these things are completely animatronic and practical. That I really like. The production design itself, I really like the look of the Five Nights at Freddy's like pizzeria in the movie, because in the first one we were really at just one. But in this film, we go to other Freddy locations, and there's one in particular, like the OG Freddy location that's explored in this movie, I thought was actually really cool. Because you could understand why a kid would find it so amazing and worthwhile, and while it could also be dangerous at the same time. I like the exploration of the actual inside the Freddy's places in these movies, especially in this film. From a performance perspective, I think Matthew Lillard is the best part of these two movies, but sadly, even in this one, he's in this movie a lot less than the first film. And this movie needed a lot more Matthew Lillard. He's just not in the movie that much. I am a fan of Josh Hutcherson. I just think his character, I'll say this, is these are the three leads are not that interesting characters, but I will at least say Hutcherson's character becomes a lot more relatable as this movie goes on, where his sister's so in the, so miffed on these animatronics. He's like, let's just move on from this, as well as with Vanessa. So at least I relate to his character a little bit more. But I just don't care about these three lead characters. They include some really cool castings here, especially like McKenna Grace and Skeet Ulrich. But clearly, the Skeet Ulrich thing and having him in the same movie as Matthew Lillard felt completely like a marketing move outside of anything like that helping this movie. And McKenna Grace, don't know what she's doing in this movie. It's not her acting at all. She's a really good actress. Don't know why she signed on to do this movie for this performance. It is a waste of McKenna Grace. And as I said, this movie, the biggest problem with this franchise, it's not scary. And another big issue for this franchise is the characters are insanely stupid. And I think sometimes they make Abby, the kid character, the stupidest one out of all of them. And their excuse is, well, she's just a kid, so she can make these stupid mistakes, and you can give the movie the benefit of the doubt because she's a kid. But I watched tons of other projects, if it's like Welcome to Derry or Stranger Things, for example. Kids are the lead characters, they aren't making stupid decisions. They're actually making calculated, smart decisions. But Abby in both movies is a total moron. And this franchise is only continuing on from a story perspective because the characters go down stupid rabbit holes that most generic regular people don't think about. But because Mike and Abby, especially Abby and Vanessa in particular, are written to be so dumb, it just takes you out of the emotion. I just don't care about the characters. I think this movie probably would be more intense if I cared about the lead characters, but because I don't, the situations, I'm not scared for anyone's life because I don't really care if these characters live or die. I think the lore gets extremely convoluted and confusing, especially towards the third act of the movie on what's really going on with the paranormal stuff in the movie. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. And as someone who's not involved in the lore and what they could be setting up, I don't care because that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. So this is a frustrating watch. I don't know I guess if you like the first Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. But like me, if you were not a fan of the first one or don't care about this video game franchise, I'm not sure Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will be bringing you on the bandwagon for liking this IP. So overall, I'm giving Five Nights at Freddy's a 2 out of 5 stars, guys. I am going to go 38% for this movie. Really did not enjoy myself watching this film. What are your thoughts, guys, on Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. It would really mean a lot. And I'll see you guys in another video very soon.